Farm Bureau is a voluntary organization
of farm families
and their allies,
dedicated to serving
as the voice of agriculture
by identifying problems,
developing solutions,
and taking actions
which will improve net farm income,
achieve better economic opportunities,
and enhance the quality of life for all.
Seeds that were planted, nurtured, and cultivated almost a century ago continue to grow and flourish from our rich heritage. They continue to bear fruit today. The bountiful harvest we celebrate today was planted by our Farm Bureau members years ago. This fall, our membership reached a record-breaking 506,749 members. In these hard economic times, that number speaks volumes about our organization and our commitment to agriculture in our state. That commitment was truly demonstrated this past year as our members from all over the Commonwealth gathered in Louisville for our 91st state annual meeting. More than 1,700 Kentucky Farm Bureau members from all 120 counties gathered here at the Galt House for fellowship and grassroots policy development. Policy development is the prime focus of our voting delegates as they establish our priority issues for the coming year.
Ladies and gentlemen, President of Kentucky Farm Bureau, Mark Haney.
Mr. Mark Haney was re-elected to his third term as President of Kentucky Farm Bureau. The Pulaski County native is the 22nd President in the 91-year history of Kentucky Farm Bureau. Mr. Haney has served on the Executive Committee for 12 years and has been a State Director since 1993. For years, he chaired the State Resolutions Committee. Mr. Andy Milton of Webster County was elected to fill the vacant role of First Vice President. Mr. Milton is Chairman of Kentucky Farm Bureau State Resolutions Committee as a former President of the Webster County Farm Bureau. Hart County's Mr. Fritz Gieske was elected as Second Vice President. Mr. Gieske serves as the Chair of the Beef Cattle Advisory Committee and Vice Chair of the Farm Labor Advisory Committee. He has been an active member of the Hart County Farm Bureau for over 30 years and was recently elected to serve as a member of the Executive Committee for the U.S. Meat Export Federation. One of the main functions of the annual meeting is the discussion and adoption of resolutions by our voting delegates from across the state. This year's meeting set the stage for our 50th year of continued growth and success.
The diversification projects that we have put in place in each of the counties, because tobacco is no longer a big cash crop in the state, it's just a good learning experience. It's very important for all of us to get together.
Welcome to Atlanta and the 92nd annual meeting of the American Farm Bureau Federation.
Producing results was this year's theme. President Mark Haney led Kentucky's delegation and continued his role on the American Farm Bureau Federation's Board of Directors. Kentucky Farm Bureau received special recognition for attaining the 500,000 member level. In 2010, Kentucky Farm Bureau joined Tennessee and North Carolina as the only states with more than 500,000 members. American Farm Bureau President Bob Stallman recognized this achievement during one of the general sessions. Kentucky Farm Bureau also captured awards for excellence and recognition of its outstanding work in policy implementation, member services, public relations and information, leadership development, and agriculture education and promotion. Kentucky was among 15 states to win 5 awards of program excellence.
It's always a pleasure to be here at District 8 to talk about policy development.
Policy development is always at the heart of Farm Bureau, and this year was no exception. State advisory committees and the State Resolutions Committee met throughout the year to determine our stand on issues facing our agriculture community.
This gives us ideas of what our grassroots membership is really concerned about and what they have on their minds to improve our farming operations and also improve our farm economy.
Long-range planning continues to be an important part of laying the groundwork for our future direction here at Farm Bureau. A new long-range planning core committee met to begin the process for developing our next 5-year plan. One of the greatest responsibilities of the Kentucky Farm Bureau is to tell agricultural story to the public, the media, and to elected officials. From the halls of Frankfort to the steps of the nation's capital, Farm Bureau was there. Mr. Haney in January went before lawmakers in Frankfort to share some of the concerns and issues that our grassroots organization felt strongly about.
At the board level, following our annual meeting, our state board will make our priority issues for this next session. And once we get our priority issues nailed down, we will look forward to sharing those with you.
Then in February, Farm Bureau was back in Frankfort for Food Checkout Day. Food baskets full of Kentucky-grown items were delivered to state legislators to thank them for the support of agriculture. Food Checkout Day represents the day that the average American has earned enough money to pay for their food for the coming year. One of the highlights of the year was the congressional tour, which has been a Farm Bureau tradition for more than 40 years. About 200 Farm Bureau members traveled to Washington, D.C. to talk face-to-face with lawmakers about important agricultural issues.
Coming here for the first time and going through the tour that we're on, it's been very informative as far as seeing where our policy starts at a grassroots level with Farm Bureau and how it's carried up onto Capitol Hill and who's involved with it and the extent of the measures that people go through to actually form a policy from the start to the finish.
During the annual congressional breakfast, Farm Bureau members had the opportunity to meet with their congressional representatives in a very casual setting. Later that afternoon, the entire group was invited to attend a question and answer session with United States Senators Mitch McConnell and Senator Rand Paul.
And the honest answer is, when we're trying to reduce the budget in a dramatic way, it'd be hard pressed for either one of us to say to you, honestly, that anything that's subsidized is not going to be effective.
This year marked the 24th Annual Beef Expo, which is held the first weekend in March. In 2007, Kentucky Farm Bureau became the key sponsor to ensure many more years of success for the Expo, and the name was changed to the Kentucky Farm Bureau Beef Expo. Kentucky Farm Bureau Second Vice President Fritz Gieske presented 2 John C. Hendricks Awards, the first to Sarah Era of McLean County, and later for Blake Boyd of Mays Lick, Kentucky.
Good morning, everyone.
More than 1,600 people were on hand to witness the sale of a Grand Champion ham at this year's Country Ham Breakfast. The ham sold for a amazing $600,000, and our friends at Republic Bank were once again the winning bidder. Those attending the breakfast not only witnessed the sale of a special ham, but also heard firsthand about the state of Kentucky agriculture from Farm Bureau leadership and state officials, including Governor Steve Beshear and Senators Mitch McConnell and Rand Paul. Kentucky Farm Bureau's Emmy Award-winning Bluegrass and Backroads continues to be a powerful resource for not only sharing agricultural story, but promoting Farm Bureau's pride in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. During this past year, according to Nielsen ratings, Bluegrass and Backroads was viewed by over 1 million households on RFD TV alone. Additionally, with this year's partnership with KET and the Rural TV network in Great Britain, Bluegrass and Backroads continues to be a major tool in telling agricultural story. Kentucky Farm Bureau News continues to be a valuable source of information to our members. This publication is the 4th largest circulation in Kentucky. Farm Bureau's growth is closely tied to our commitment to our young people. Kentucky Farm Bureau has always believed that our youth are the key to ensuring the future of Kentucky agriculture. The Young Farmers Summer Outing was held in Louisville this year. Young farmers from across the state attend the annual event sponsored by the Kentucky Farm Bureau. Also this year, young farmers from the Indiana Farm Bureau join in on the festivities.
Well, we were looking to get back into doing a summer outing, and we had a good opportunity to get with Kentucky and come down and see part of their state and enjoy some time and fellowship with them.
Kentucky Farm Bureau has been sponsoring a summer outing for young farmers since 1990. Once again, Kentucky Farm Bureau was a sponsor for the annual Kentucky Derby Festival State Spelling Bee. 62 Kentucky and Southern Indiana public and private school students took part in the 18th annual bee. Kentucky Farm Bureau congratulated 6th grade student Emily Keaton from Christ Central Training School and Academy in Pike County with spelling the winning word.
A-N-K-Y. I won on the word ankylosaur. A-N-K-Y-L-O-S-A-U-R. In kindergarten, I won my whole school spelling bee. That's kindergarten through 8th grade. So from then on, I pretty much knew I was destined to do this.
Since 1953, Farm Bureau has awarded more than $1.8 million in scholarships to Farm Bureau member families. This year, 86 scholarships were given out worth $128,000.
I've always been involved with agriculture, and I've always really had appreciation for the Farm Bureau, and I have a lot of friends that have been a part of this program, and they've really had nothing but great things to say about it. And so I figured I would try and apply for it and see what happened, and it turns out I got accepted to attend.
Nearly 90 high school students registered for this year's EIFEL program, which was held in June on the campuses of Murray State and the University of Kentucky. The annual summer program exposes students to college life and possible agricultural careers by allowing them to visit college campuses and speak to current ag students and professors. Participants in the EIFEL program are nominated each year by their local County Farm Bureau Board of Directors.
This is Food for America program. It's something that's on the national level with FFA that we've been doing here at the Nelson County High School for over 10 years. When I was a student before I became a teacher, I even participated in this program.
Many counties Kentucky agricultural and classroom activities for our young people. Workshops like this one in Nelson County conducted by the County FFA chapter help students get a better understanding about where their food comes from.
We have elementary schools from across the county bring kids out to learn about agriculture, everything from food science to ATV and tractor safety. We're having 900 kids come out this year, and we're really excited about it.
Farm Bureau has continually kept our Farm Bureau leadership well informed about agricultural issues on the state and national level. Several counties offer opportunities to our legislative leaders for one-on-one discussions of issues facing our farm families.
Heads.
Heads, all right. I don't drop it. Measure the candidate meetings help members learn more about the views of potential elected officials and share key agricultural topics. Kentucky Farm Bureau played host to the first official issues forum between Kentucky Governor Steve Beshear and State Senate President David Williams. The candidates appeared before the state board and were fielded questions on key policy issues on energy, environmental issues, insurance, education, and economic development. Later in the fall, there was an additional Measure the Candidate forum at the state office for the two candidates for Agriculture Commissioner. Republican James Comer and Democrat Bob Farmer fielded questions from Farm Bureau leaders. County Farm Bureau leaders gathered in Elizabethtown to hear from policy experts on the fiscal crisis which will prompt cuts in Farm Bill spending.
It's the most unusual time probably that I can ever remember writing a farm bill in this type of, when the economy's at low and we're talking about deficits of record levels, and actually we're going to be doing cuts, mandated cuts, and so
It's a pretty significant time to be doing this legislation. Probably the most important legislation for rural communities is our farm policy and our farm bill.
Look around, most of you have been blessed.
224 Farm Bureau leaders from 109 counties came to Louisville for the annual County Presidents and Vice Presidents Conference.
It's a great opportunity to kind of network with folks from all over the state, to get to talk to other presidents and vice presidents and kind of see what their issues are, and also, you know, see what some of the national and some of the state issues are also. They provide a really good update for us.
The conference gives County Farm Bureau leaders a chance to hear motivational speakers and attend a variety of sessions focused on leadership training and important agricultural issues facing our counties. This conference is geared toward helping our leaders lead their County Farm Bureau. Nearly 200 women from all over the state gathered in Louisville for the annual Women's Leadership Conference. The conference gives women a chance to get caught up on the issues facing agriculture. The Leadership Enhancement for Agricultural Development, our LEAD group, swung into action at the Asbury College Challenge course. The group learned valuable lessons on teamwork and leadership.
We're joining together, starting as one and coming together as a whole group, which is bonding us all together as one family.
Well, it's really important because so many people are removed from the farm, and our greatest hope is for teachers in the general public classroom to be able to educate children about the value of agriculture, the value of Kentucky agriculture.
Kentucky Farm Bureau held regional teacher workshops. This year there were 6 locations with over 600 teachers registered from some 70 counties. These all-day workshops are designed to provide teachers useful professional skills and information on agriculture and how it might be used in the classroom.
Just to kind of get the kids acquainted with like what we've learned today, where their food comes from and how, you know, a farmer's job really impacts them. I think it's good just to get different ideas from other teachers, other professionals, just a different perspective on things. This was a good change for us.
Earlier this year, the Executive Committee had the opportunity to tour Marksbury Farm Market and to see firsthand their butcher shop, farm market, and processing facility.
For us, it begins on the farm. Certainly, we feel like the biggest, maybe the most important parts of our whole operation are on the farm, and we feel like we're just a conduit or a facilitator for getting farm-raised products to consumers.
Recently, our executive team toured several Kentucky counties. There, they visited Farm Bureau offices as well as toured agricultural businesses. These trips served to share and gather information for a better working relationship.
Times at our conventions and annual meetings, we don't have time to sit and just talk to them one-on-one, so when we're with the counties, we can sit here and just discuss issues and things that are going on in our organization, and it gives us some one-on-one time with them.
In 2011 was a time of growth, thanks in part to our dedicated staff. This year, we welcomed some new faces to our staff. George Heineman was named Area Program Director for Area 9 in northeastern Kentucky. George owns a beef cattle and hay operation in Greenup County and is a graduate of Morehead State University. Stacy Lowe was named Young Farmer Director. Stacy was raised on a Fleming County beef, grain, and tobacco farm and holds a degree in agriculture from Morehead State University. It takes a dedicated staff working long hours as a team to accomplish the many tasks we have realized in 2011. This marked the 50th consecutive year of membership growth for Kentucky Farm Bureau, and our president, Mark Haney, was honored with receiving the membership quota code. The code has given us a symbol of success and commitment to the members of the Farm Bureau. Out of the 51 Farm Bureaus, our American Farm Bureau family, Kentucky is only the second state to achieve 50 years of consecutive growth. This year, our membership reached a record 506,749 family members. We celebrate our continued growth and being only the 3rd state to reach that 500,000 member level. The theme for this annual meeting is celebrating growth. While we celebrate the organization's growth and success, we must look to our past at the foundation that was laid. We look at the present to our current leadership at the county and state level for guidance and support, and we look collectively to the future for the continued commitment and cooperation among all those associated with Kentucky Farm Bureau for the benefit of the members and continued success.